Okay. If you so desire, if your heart desires it, then do it.
Okay, this is fine.
That is the nature of chick flicks. That's the whole point of Notebook. I don't know what the name of the director is, but he's stupid. His mother birthed an idiotic child. A pervert. Scandalous. No good doer.
No good doer.
Now David, good to his mother Espinosa. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I don't know if we're going to keep that intro, but it sounded really funny. All right, so basically, welcome back to the Koji podcast. Saul Espinosa. Like I said, David, good to his mother. David Espinosa.
Thank you for having me. We are in my house as we are recording this, and it's about time that we restart this thing. Of course, I am but a humble guest host, or whatever, co-host. But
Co-guest host.
Co-guest host, and I'm happy to be doing it.
Well, anything that makes you sound inferior to me. but anyways, seeing it as it is the month of February. Well, it's going to be the month of February when we upload this.
Recording
the month of love. Amor. Valentine's Day month. Whatever.
It's also the month
we
of my
will
birthday.
be reviewing romantic movies. Chick flicks. Things with bad things in them. Movies.
I mean, all
Basic.
yeah. All romantic movies have something bad in them.
So, I think there's 4. Yeah, in these 4 weeks, we'll be reviewing one in each week. Basically, we're going to be giving our honest, raw, unfiltered opinions. But also, we're going to make you mad. We're going to make you laugh. We're going to make you cry.
Yeah.
But it's going to be really funny. And we're going to bring a whole new audience of women. But they're going to leave after watching. They're probably not going to finish this video.
They'll see the thumbnail, and then when they hear you speak.
I mean, maybe they'll stay for my beautiful face, but I'm not.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get into it, shall we? Oh. Koji. Okay. We will now be going in to the Notebook. The Notebook. Love, beauty, majestic.
Impurity.
Yes, impurity. Oh, how I long. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so Notebook. We watched it. First thoughts.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing: is I've watched it for the first time. You know, with my, I don't know if I was engaged with Rebecca at that time, but I actually watched it for the first time. Must have been 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. My first thoughts were, this is stupid. I mean, well, first of all, this isn't a movie that I would recommend for anyone to watch, like anyone, just because it has impurity or in it and things like that. And it's just not prudent for, I don't think, women or men to be watching that. And especially,
So we watched it for you.
we obviously skipped any parts, right? Yeah, I think there's probably 2 scenes that are pretty bad. But anyways, we skipped them and whatever, and we just kind of, you know, this is gonna be us kind of giving our honest, not even, a lot of it is opinionated, but a lot of it is just true. It's just a stupid movie.
I remember we watched it, and the first thing you said was, "We're never showing our kids this movie."
Yeah, that's the first thing I said. I said,
I was like, okay, that's
yeah, first time I saw this movie, I said we are never gonna show this movie to our kids ever. So.
So yeah, we're gonna give our opinion, show you how dumb it is, and show how it would never work in the real life. Because a lot of women, they watch it, and the people who make it want them just to feel it, not really think about what's going on. Because whenever I've talked to girls about this movie, they're always like, "Oh, but it's just a movie, like, it was just it's just romantic and whatever. Like, come on, like, don't criticize it." But it's like, a lot of girls are watching this. They get some sort of influence from it.
Just because you're a boy.
I never heard them actually criticize it. Or at least for me, except for my sister-in-law, Rebecca. But
The first scene in the
opens
movie?
up on
Two old people. Well, first.
two old reasons.
Two white raisins.
I think we should sort of give a little bit of the story so that people know what's about.
Okay. So for those who haven't seen it, it's basically, it starts out with this one old guy, right? He's going to. It looks like it might be a mental facility, but it actually looks like her home. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it was her home. Anyways, the point is
like an elderly home.
Elderly home. Yeah, probably.
Like a senior center.
The house that they transformed.
Oh.
Right there on the lake, he is on
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
He transformed into an old folks home so that she can be comfortable in her own home, so that maybe she can try and remember.
Yeah. The point is that
I think. I don't know.
that this old guy starts reading this book. I suppose it's called The Notebook also, or what?
Maybe just his notebook.
Oh, maybe it's just his notebook.
Maybe he wrote, like, he had little sketches on there. I don't know.
The sketch pad.
No, well, basically just him. I mean, this old guy who has his wife who has Alzheimer's, and he wants her to remember what they had, their relationship before, and how they came to know each other, and so that she could he does this so that hoping that she remembers,
Exactly.
so that they can be with each other or whatever, and throughout the whole story he's telling the story. Through the whole movie he's telling the story.
He's telling the story of their love or whatever, how, when they met, how they met, what happened, and all the drama that ensued. Just a bunch of
Hoopla!
hoopla.
And then at the end, she remembers for like 5 minutes and then forgets. And then they die.
That's literally what happens. Anyways, yeah.
I guess
don't know.
the meaning of your life. Huh?
You just ruined the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, sorry, spoilers.
Let's get out of
Warnings. I just gave spoilers. Anyways, so I guess let's start at when they first met. What was wrong? How did he act? Honestly, when he first met her, he was just like,
He's so stupid.
you know that dumb look that Ryan Gosling does? It's like if he's high or something. And then he's like, she's the one, bruh. Okay, he doesn't talk about that, but he goes up to her, and then he acts like that weird, that weird kid at youth group that goes up to those girls and then does the weirdest things, like to get her attention. And he's just like hanging onto the Ferris wheel with one hand. Anyways, and she tells him to stop, and he still goes after her. Like, that wouldn't, if he did those things and the girl was telling him to stop, she was not into it, it wouldn't have worked, like, to be honest. Unless it's one of the girls that watched that movie, then,
I don't know, man.
That was really weird.
The point is that the guy was just really like too infatuated. I wouldn't really call it love. And
How dare you?
so okay, when they meet or whatever, he's like threatening to like jump
Let himself die.
to kill himself or whatever. I guess.
I mean, that's abusive. That's abusive relationship right there.
Yeah, just like
he's
from the
literally
very
that's
beginning.
like a red flag.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
And somehow, I don't know how the.
She's like, oh, I'm into that.
I'm into mentally.
Yeah, I can fix him.
Oh, God.
So she ends up falling in love with him because she keeps on like, creeping up on her and stuff.
Pursuing her, and for some reason that it's really enchanting to her. I don't know.
Set her up.
Yeah, and her friend was like, super. It was. I'm not gonna say it. Her friend was crazy. Okay, and she was
Encouraging it, whatever.
yeah encouraging that kind of relationship. Like, and she was like kissing like every 5 seconds. And in the movie, the couple they were like fighting or kissing, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, a lot of what we're going to talk about is basically the movie, like the movie, like from when they're young and when they're old. It's like a self contradiction. I mean, like when they're young, they act one way, but when they're old, the guy is trying to be, self-sacrificing, always trying to read to his wife, even though she can't remember anything. He's still trying to like get to that point where she could finally remember, and they could share times of affection again or whatever. But I feel like it's two different relationships.
It's like two different people. It's not
Yeah.
the same person.
Yeah, because a lot of people will say like
Because obviously they could change, but they didn't show any change that happened. They sort of try to make it seem like, oh, they just continue, like they didn't. There wasn't like any change. They just like that's just the kind of people they were.
Yeah. So what a lot of people try to do, or at least so I heard. So I heard my wife explain to me or whatever, was that people or women will try to say, oh, but look, they ended up together in the end, and they love each other in the end.
Like they had that rough relationship, but they stayed married.
Yeah, they had that rough relationship, but they stayed married, and okay, however improbable that would be, okay, fine, it's possible, but within the context of the actual movie, it doesn't really show any type of conversion or anything like that. It's just an abusive relationship, a lot of infatuation.
No, like, remember, like, because they met in the summer, and right away she's like hitting him and throwing fits all over him.
Yeah, exactly. Like
kicking him.
slapping him, pushing him, punching him,
and then the next day they would come back and they were like kissing each other, or acting like birds. Remember? Like that was just really funny. Like the whole reincarnation thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so what I was saying, well, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday, was that although women argue for that relationship, like, oh, you see, it worked in the end, blah blah blah. I mean, in reality, with the movie, although these women don't know it, or even whoever's tricked by it, men too. I think it's more made for women, but anyways, whatever they try to use to justify the movie itself is in the end trying to justify an abusive relationship. And women might not see it that way because they're like, oh, they're this way, but you see in the end, blah blah blah. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like the consequence of their thinking or their way of thinking, it just maybe they would have had some sort of conversion, but the movie does not show that at all. If anything, it just endorses whatever bad relationship that they had, and there's no character growth of that kind. And just to give you more context, I mean, they engaged in, the marital act, and right after that, they're just punching each other again. Well, maybe the guy didn't punch her, but he was still being, kind of just trying to leave her or whatever. Right after that, and they weren't married or anything, and like whatever, they break up or whatever, and they don't see each other for I don't know how long. And then
No, I mean, but also you got to look to the parents too.
Like that's right.
When I first saw the dad, I thought he was gonna be like one of the dads that's like super strict and everything, but in fact, he was just the kind of dad that didn't really put his foot down on anything.
He's like, it's just summer love.
I just
For you, baby.
It happens all the time, dear. It's just summer love. He's just not suitable for you.
In fact,
Suitable
remember
for
how
you,
we
baby.
met? We didn't meet in the summer, honey. Oh yeah, that's right. Wait, who are you? Just kidding. Oh, you're my third wife.
And well, maybe I should just go throughout the rest of the movie just to like, basically just have an overview so that people who haven't watched it can know. So that happens, right? And then they don't see each other for a long time. Apparently, the dude has been since the day that they broke up. He's been sending he was sending her a letter every single day for, you know,
A year.
yeah, for a year, 365 letters or whatever, and oh, so romantic, blah blah blah. It's like whatever. The point is,
Yeah,
that
but we should have said that the parents didn't like him because he was poor.
yeah.
So, because they were a rich family, and so they didn't approve of him. And then when they found out that he was like, when when they were out all night and doing some stuff they shouldn't have been doing, then they wanted her to be away from him, and they took her.
And here's
they
the
went back home.
and here's the thing is that they were not so much displeased with what they were doing.
Yeah, they were just displeased because he wasn't rich.
Yeah, because he wasn't rich.
Because if he was rich and they were doing that, they would have been fine with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
they're married eventually.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so they go to, what was it, New York? Oh, she goes to New York for college. And she was in her third year of college. I think she was like, she volunteered to be a medic, right? Or a nurse.
Yeah,
For
because
the-
it was
World War II. And so she meets this guy who's like all wounded and everything. And he tries flirting with her. She's like, he's super ugly because, you know, he's like all beat up. Anyways, and then he's like, would you go on a date with me? She's like, oh, let's, no, but just heal up, okay, maybe. And then like a year later or something like that.
They fall in love
Somehow he finds her,
like that.
and he's like, well, look, I'm all healed up now. And then she like falls in love with him. He was a handsomer, okay? He was richer, polite, respectful, nice, kind. I'm just kidding. I just keep on saying, okay, he was just a better option overall.
Objectively.
Yeah, like, okay, let's say he was as poor as the other guy, but still polite, and, you know, all the other good things. I still would want her to go with him anyways, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But somehow she sees him. I mean, and okay, wait. So then the parents approve of him, and he asks her to get married. She's engaged. The marriage is in like a couple weeks, I think.
No, I think not.
Months. Okay, a couple months. And she sees in the paper that her ex, her summer beau, was rebuilt the house that they made love in. I mean, that's really what it is.
She literally just saw the dude in the newspaper, you know.
All like hoboed up.
Yeah, like with a huge beard or whatever.
I know he looked like a 70s hobo. Like,
Well, in the 70s, yeah. He looked like
I know he looked like he was in the 70s. And so she's like, oh no, actually no marriage, no. She's like, oh, I need to go back to that place where he is, just to, find out some things.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to my wife about. Like, like why? I don't get it. Why do you think? What do you think would be going through someone's mind or whatever? And she was telling me that like apparently women want closure, or whatever. I'm like, closure? What do you mean? What? Like actually, can you explain that to me? Because I still come over here because I don't even know.
I mean, speaking as a woman here. I mean, I think what it means is like they want to make sure, like, oh, he was done with me, basically. No.
Yeah, I guess because they had a bad ending and they were, I guess, torn apart.
But you decide now that you're like, she was literally trying on her wedding dress.
Like 4 years later.
It had been 7 years.
7 years
They hadn't
later
seen each other.
that they had not seen each other.
It's so dumb, dude. Oh my gosh.
And the guy already has another girlfriend that he doesn't love at all, and she was being used. This new girlfriend was being used, and she knew it, and she still stayed with him because she loved him, and he would use her for her body.
Like she was hoping for a relationship because she was a widow, and he was just like, no, I can't give you anything. Like what's mine to give is broken. I can't give it to you.
So
That means.
so it's dumb. Like if he really truly loved, the first girl, whatever. I forgot her name.
Allie.
Or her name was Allie.
Allison.
Allie, Noah, and then the other lady was Martha.
Okay, so the main guy is Noah, and
Wait, what's
the
the
main
other guy,
girl is
Lauren?
Allie.
Lon.
Lon.
Oh, Lon is the one who's engaged to Allie at that point.
And Cotton.
And so basically, yeah, like Noah is just sleeping with the widow, and they both acknowledge that their relationship is horrible and meaningless, and they don't really love each other. Actually, it's just a lot of weird stuff, dude. Like,
And then when Allison comes in to meet him, and she sees like what he's been doing all these years, and the way he's become, she still doesn't really care.
like her having a fiance or whatever, she goes to the fiance and tells him, you know what, I need to take care of some things, before they get married or whatever.
Mhm.
And then he's like, should I be worried? And then she's like, oh no, whatever. He's like,
She's like, no, I don't think so.
he's
So
like,
then she goes.
he's like, well, okay.
So she goes, hoping for something, hooks up, and yeah. and
She literally sleeps with the guy, Noah. She literally sleeps with him again. Like after she sees him on the newspaper, comes back to him. They just talk for a little bit.
They have dinner.
They have dinner. The next day they sleep together.
And then she paints nude for a day. All natural.
In his house.
In his house.
Anyways, and so basically there's no sign of loyalty. There's no sign of because what a man is supposed to do in a relationship is protect the honor and virtue of of whoever he's dating, the beloved or whatever. So there's no true love there. All true love is based in virtue, is based in willing the good of another. And if you literally do something with them that brings them to hell,
Yeah. Well, if you will the good of another, you will sacrifice for them.
Exactly.
And sacrifice could also mean, like, restraining yourself, As a man, it's your job to protect, your fiance or your wife. But the thing you have to protect them from the most is yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. There's just no sign of that whatsoever. So the movie likes to play on the emotions of women, and in the end, what kind of example do young women get looking at this movie? Love is what
Emotion.
Is emotion, or just hooking up with the guy, like literally sleeping with him, and then the next day not even like basically cutting yourself off from them for like 7 years, and then 7 years later show up again, and they sleep together again, and then the girlfriend of Noah, she
Martha.
or her name's Martha, the widow.
The one we were saying that they don't have a good relationship.
Yeah. So she kind of shows up. She's like, "Oh, wait, is that the girl that you dated before?" He's like, "Yeah." And then
What's it to you?
and then she's like, "Can I meet her?" What? This is so stupid. This is so
Like
stupid.
at that, when she found out that new girl was there, she should have just ran away, like left that guy.
There's
Noah.
no shame. There's no shame, in this entire movie. There's no shame for like anything that they do that's wrong. Everything the girl, everything that she does wrong, she constantly blames either the boyfriend or
Her
she
mom.
blames her parents. Yeah, the mom, and it's just
She-
the
she-
worst example that
She doesn't take responsibility.
exactly. It's the worst example that the movie could give to young women watching the movie, and women get brainwashed by this, and they I don't know, man. Like it. I guess it's just made for women, like to brainwash them, play on their emotions and things like that.
Well, I think it's because, like, for guys, we just see it, and I guess since we're not as, like, emotional creatures as women, then we just see it, and we're just like, this is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, any. Well,
No, because Martha says, "Can I meet her?" And then Allison says, "Oh, come in. We just made dinner."
he talks about you a lot, or I don't know what.
Or no, or we're gonna make dinner.
Or I've heard a lot about you, or whatever. It's like just like before Allie showed up, they were sleeping together, and then Allie just shows up and they sleep together, and like what? There's no shame. There's no shame. It's just
No, and then
So, yeah. Supposedly Martha needed closure. She needed to see who it was that Noah actually loved, or whatever. For what reason?
No, I know.
I got something to look forward to.
Yeah. That was.
Back to your
Yeah, her after meeting Allie, Martha the widow, her exact words were, "Now I have something to for the first time in a long time I feel like I actually have something to look forward to."
What?
What does that even mean? You just lost the guy, and the old girlfriend just came back and took the guy, and now you're alone.
No, and then she was like, "Allison is extraordinary." It's like, yeah.
Allison, that character in that movie, that girl, is a brat. She blames all of her mistakes.
No, and then remember
on everyone.
Remember, because they slept together, and then when she wakes up, she's like, she doesn't put on clothes, and she like has like the blanket around her, and then she's like painting outside, naked or whatever. And then the mom comes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that
And
part.
then wait. And then the mom was like, "So this is what you do when you're away from your fiance or whatever?" And she's like, "Mom, it's your fault. You hid those letters." And I don't know what the heck. Like, okay, that was 7 years ago. First of all. Second of all, she's an adult now. Like, she shouldn't be acting this way. She should take responsibility for what she's doing. She's cheating on her fiance.
Yeah, and not to mention, fiance or no, she's, or I don't know what they believe, but they were in the South, so I believe that they were Bible believing people, and they don't act like they have any kind of religion at all. They're acting like pagans or or whatever.
Oh, and also, okay, look, obviously, she should take responsibility for her actions too. But her mom was super stupid, anyways.
Yeah.
Like, afterwards, she's like, "Here, I have to show you something." Like, the mom says this. She takes Allie to a work yard.
A lumberyard, I think.
A lumber yard, and so, no, I think it was just a work yard, because they were shoveling rocks or coal or something. And she's like, "See that man right there? 25 years ago, we were in love." And I don't know for some reason they were separated too.
Basically,
and the thing is that
similar situation as Allie and Noah, basically, but it happened to the mom.
That the parents didn't want them together.
Yeah,
They
her.
tried running away, but they-
Yeah, her parents.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Her parents didn't want her to date that guy because he was poor also or whatever. They tried to run away. It didn't work. I don't know what the heck.
They got caught by the police.
Oh, they got caught by the police. I don't know what the heck. And yeah, similar situation as her daughter. And then what did she say to her daughter when they see the guy?
Oh, she was like, "I still come by here every so often, and just to sit and wonder what my life could have been like."
You're a married woman.
Like, that's the thing. You at that point, your vocation is set. There's no time to think about what could have happened. Things already happened.
Women love to think like that these days. I feel like, oh, what if my life was that way? What if I took? It's like, you're married. You are in your vocation. I mean, what more do you want? You already know what your job is.
It's hard 'cause you're so emotional.
Yeah, 'cause, look, like, what if it was the husband? What if it was the husband? Like, I mean, I'm sure that women would not like husbands being like, "Oh man, this lady that I'm married to is, she's nice and everything, but what if I dated that hot girl in high school?" Oh.
That probably does happen, like, really quickly.
What
But, like,
what would women say about that? Oh my gosh, he's being basically disloyal. Like,
no, imagine if
emotionally.
a guy was just like, is like, "Here, I need to show you something." They go to an office. She's like, "See that woman right there? Come here every so often to stalk her." Also, I go to her house too. I don't know, just like that would be creepy. That's just a creepy thing to do. What the heck? You haven't talked to this guy in 25 years, and you're like stalking him.
And you're married. You should.
And then she's like, "Oh, Allie, but I love your father too. He's such a nice man. I don't deserve him." Blah blah blah.
They don't know what love means. They do not know what the definition
But that
of
was
love
love,
is.
David.
Love
What
is a
what the mother
decision.
had was love.
No. Her thinking what if and willingly letting herself think that and dwelling on those thoughts, that's just being not. She's not being loyal, you know, emotionally, you know, like it's a sin of thought, you know, and basically the sins that you know that are in the mind, they eventually, if you let them continue, they'll happen in in action is what I mean to say. If you let the sins of the mind continue, then they will lead to action, just like they did with Allie.
No, and that lady, I mean, she basically controlled her husband anyways. The dad, I mean, the dad never said anything. She was just like, and we can't have this. I mean, when back then when Noah and Allie were dating when they were younger, the mom wanted them to separate, and she was like, if it was a council meeting or something, and the mom was like, look, it's not good for her to be with this man or whatever. She was making all the decisions. Like, she was pretending to, like, plead with the husband, but she made the decision at the end.
Yeah.
And then she also made the decision to go back to New York, or to their home, because that's their summer home that they were at. So, in effect, feminism sucks.
Now, I mean, there's so much wrong with this movie. If you have seen this movie, please change your way of thinking. I mean, never show this movie.
No, I mean, I know. They're going to make girls like, okay, bro, this is just a chick flick. Like, it's made to be just like this or whatever. But I'm just like, I know. Well, first of all, it's just really fun. I love doing these things.
Honestly,
But second of all, I mean, it is really dumb. We got to point it out at one point. And we can also just learn real life things from these movies of what not to do or how distorted it is so that we can act a certain way. You know, because, like, how you should date, you know? Not like how...
But yeah, how Hollywood portrays.
Portrays dating. Because what happens is that when girls actually date, they have way higher expectations. Or they have some weird expectations.
Weird. Well, and they
Like,
think they're high. I don't know how to explain
Well,
it.
it's not really high. I mean, that guy's just committing sin with her, you know? That's not really high expectations. That's just, like, emotion. I guess an emotional way it's high.
Well, it's self-degrading, right? Because, like, a woman, you know, supposed to be... won over, but not by just sleeping with her, you know. I don't know. My concern is a lot of young women. I think a lot of women have seen this movie. I hope not Catholic women, but obviously, I'm pretty sure a lot of Catholic women have watched this. But if you see this interview, don't show this ever to your kids or.
You mean don't show the Notebook to your kids?
Yeah.
Show this interview to your kids.
Subscribe,
actually. Have your children subscribe.
Don't show the movie, The Notebook, to your kids.
Don't be shameful.
Don't watch it yourself, and don't show it to anyone. It's just not. It uses a lot of emotions to paint a pretty picture or whatever, but in reality, it's not a good thing that's happening.
It's basically like girls when they put filters. Like, they're ugly as heck. But they put a filter, and that's the emotion. The filter is the emotion that they try to make you feel. The emotions they try to make you feel. But in fact, if you remove, yourself from feeling these emotions, like, in reality, it's just garbage. So, yeah. Anyways, and after that, what happens with... Oh, yeah. Then the girl, Allie goes with her fiancé, Lon, and basically
confesses to him what happened.
Yeah, and then she's like, but I don't know. She's like super dumb. She just doesn't know what to do, and she's just like, she's like, oh, I don't know. You know, you're the perfect choice, Lon, but I'm gonna go with this loser. You know, like, it's just really dumb. It's like if you go for an interview and the guy, and it's for a job, and they're like, you're the perfect candidate, but I'm not going to choose you, I'm going to choose this guy who's not qualified.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, when Lon heard, from his fiance's own mouth what she did, with another guy very recently, I think his reaction was something like, I can either beat him up or I can leave you. He's like, but I don't want that to. I don't want this to. What did he say? Like, but no. He said, but none of those options gives me you or whatever. It's like, bro, leave her. Leave her.
Well, he still left her at the end, anyways.
No, he didn't leave
Oh,
her.
she
in
left
the end.
him, right?
She left him.
Yeah.
Leave her, bro. Why do you want a girl like
I
that?
know. Be a Sigma, you beta.
Sleeping with other guys. Why do you want to be married to a woman like that?
Yeah, I know. Like, if she's sleeping with other guys before you're even married, you know, like she's cheating on you before you're married, call off the wedding. You still have time. It's never too late. Like, seriously, that was really dumb.
What are you expecting will what are you expecting that will change after you make your wedding vows? What's going to change? Nothing. Nothing. I mean, they I don't
Because
think
they had no other belief system other than love.
yeah,
You know, like they didn't have any like
they
moral
were just
code.
they were just invoking love, and at the end of the movie, instead of relying on God or whatever, it's like, oh, but our love will basically give us a miracle because when they were old, like we said earlier, the Allie was starting to lose her memory or whatever, but they're like, oh, maybe our love will make a miracle. It's like you're basically making love the God, the God of your life.
But not the true love.
It's not true love. It's just emotion, I mean,
Emotion, infatuation.
here's the thing: is that the guy Noah, as an old man, is sacrificing every day to try to read her that book, which is a bad book. But anyways, it's so stupid now that I think about it.
He should if she didn't remember anything, he should have at least made it better.
Yeah, he should.
So she could remember good things about him.
Yeah, exactly. The point is that he's trying to, to help her memory get restored, right? So he's always trying, always sacrificing himself to help her or whatever, so that they can essentially, I guess you could say, see each other again, because it was like she was a different person, And so that's lovely, that's beautiful, and I suppose that is romantic or whatever, but within the context of the movie, it's like saying, like, guys, there's like somebody just lit a fire in the house. It's like, but look at the inside. Look, we just installed that cabinet. Doesn't it look nice? We just got it painted. It's like, dude, the house is on fire. Run, get out. Like, it's a bad story, but they put like a little bow on it in order to, like, oh no, just pay attention to the bow. Just look at the bow, please. Don't look at what's actually there. Look at the bow, please, because we have other intentions. We want you to basically believe that this is disordered behavior is normal and it's good and it's romantic and it's love. It is love, which is not love. Like I said earlier, like love. A man who actually loves his beloved or whatever, will sacrifice himself and his desires to take advantage of her, because in reality, well, what a marriage is supposed to be the husband and wife bringing each other to heaven, right? By fulfilling their duties and doing them for love of God, and God is supposed to be the center of the marriage. Hollywood gets it completely wrong. In the end, there's no virtue, there's no honor, and there's no shame for bad things that they do. None of them actually take responsibility for their actions. And then it's like, well, it's okay because we love each other. And look at that pretty bow. I mean, at least at the end, he's trying to read her a bad story. and the only good quality, I will say the only good quality is when they're old. and
that's sad, because usually that's a bad quality.
Look, and I can see how that does look beautiful, and I can see how it is beautiful. But like I said, you're not looking at the context of the movie. What Hollywood is trying to do is try to get you to look at the bow, so that the actual present is how do you say, like, in the background. It's kind of like, it seems good just because of the bow. You know what I'm saying? Or just because of the wrapping.
It's still a present.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but anyone can leave a bomb in a present,
It's like when you get socks for Christmas. You gotta pretend you like it.
Yeah.
No, and then also, oh no, but a lot of people say. I mean, I feel like a lot of people would say, but Noah made Allie feel like she was free. You know, she really loves to paint. You know, I mean that's pretty much all he knows about her. But yeah, she loves it so much. But no, in reality, it wasn't about the painting. It was just her emotions that was guiding her, not paint.
Yeah, the movie just tries to get you to overlook all of the disorderedness of the relationship.
Because honestly, Lon wasn't making her. I mean, by what his actions shouldn't have made her feel trapped. He wasn't like controlling her every move or anything. You know, he was like he loved her. He actually did love her.
And it's funny because in the movie he actually says like, I don't know if you can marry me because then you wouldn't be defying your parents anymore. Or they love me so much, like that's what they want. They want you to marry me. So if you did, then you wouldn't be able to defy them anymore, or disobey them, or I don't know, disappoint them.
Mm-hmm.
But then she goes with that twist in the end. I don't know, because he was a nice guy. I like Lon. I don't know. We don't know if they slept together in their days together. We don't know that.
But did Noah and Allie even get married?
Mm-hmm.
Or they just have kids?
Did they get married?
Yeah, I don't think they had married.
Yeah, they probably got married.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
We can also look in the Notebook.
No, okay, disorder relationship, good ending. What sort of? Dumb girl, bad mother, bad dad. Infatuation over true love. Closure in the modern era. I think we've got that. Intimacy before marriage.
Wrong.
Causes problems.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Really quick, like right after they're like the most intimate the man and woman can be. Right after that, they're at each other's throats.
So she goes for bad guy, leaves good guy, and is trying to shed good light on disordered behavior.
Yep.
Makes girls feel emotions about bad circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I think any young girl watching that will just be focusing on all the good things and overlook all the bad things, and maybe even like without even thinking it, I will actually agree with those things just because of how the movie made them feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anyways, is there anything else? Any last quick mention?
No, I mean, I think
I think as soon as barely in the very beginning of the movie, we could already tell.
Yeah, you already saw the red flags. I mean, like the dude's literally threatening him. Maybe he was half joking, but like what he was doing, he was hanging from a Ferris wheel. Like if he fell, there would be no way that he would not get at least badly hurt. You know, like he's crazy.
No, but but also like I don't know. Maybe I just don't know girls. Okay, I don't know girls, but but like, come on, he was acting really crazy. Like I mean,
some girls like that, I guess.
I guess some girls are into that, right? But well, yeah, that was our review of The Notebook. Don't watch it. Watch this. Don't share that. Share this. Don't subscribe to that. Subscribe to this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When you hear this podcast, just just take our
take our review with a big grain of salt.
Like maybe somehow you can, like, instead of listening to the podcast, maybe somehow like read it in written form and just think that it's being said in a monotone voice, and then maybe you'll agree with it. Maybe without all the
yeah, because sometimes we put emotion into our own things too.
Yeah,
and girls don't like that. I mean, I thought they did.
For some
us,
reason,
no.
For some reason, whenever we act a little bit
like
charismatic, puts off women. They're like, oh, what these guys are saying, it's trash or whatever. They don't even know, they're just guys and whatever. But look, just look at what we're saying objectively.
You know what I say to that? From that girl in the movie, Allie? She's for the streets. That's all I'll say. Okay?
All right.
She says herself, so I'm a tramp.
Yeah, she is. She is a tramp. She got that. Her mom too. Okay, they both belong to the streets.
She's not a lady. She's a tramp.
And Noah. Well, we can't give the guy a bad time. No, I'm just kidding. No, Noah deserves eternal punishment.
Unless he repent and go to confession and fulfill his...
And I wish Lon was my dad.
No.
Definitely not because of his money. Guys, don't pin that on me. No, I'm just kidding. But this was our first review of the Notebook movie. Now put in the comments what you think. You know, not you girls though.
Watch this and then watch the Notebook again after you finish this.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the Notebook again, but I don't think. Okay, no, I'm not.
No, we're not gonna watch it again.
One time was enough. Okay.
And don't ever watch it. Just,
I don't even
just
remember.
watch this
I don't
interview.
remember very much. I just remember like big red flag blurs. Okay, that's all.
I mean for viewers to get this perspective in their minds before watching it, and then see, like they'll see your perspective clearly. It's hard to miss this perspective.
Okay, if you've watched it and you're not gonna listen to our advice of not watching it again, try to think of what the things we're saying. Maybe you don't remember. Maybe the first time that you watched it, you weren't thinking about it very much. But if you want to watch it again, then go ahead. But I don't recommend it just because it has a lot of impurity and stuff.
Yeah.
But you'll see what we mean.
Yeah,
You'll see what we
I
mean.
would say
You.
I would say don't watch it and don't show it to anyone, no matter what. But you know, you're not gonna listen to us because you know you're your own person or whatever. So you know, although I say do not watch it, you're probably gonna watch it and maybe even show it to someone for the first time. But show them the podcast. If you are gonna do that, show them this podcast before they watch that movie.
Tell us what you think. We know we probably made a lot of people mad. Maybe, hopefully, laugh because we made some pretty funny jokes, I think. And yeah, thank you for watching. God bless.